All right, hey now, y'all. Hope everybody's hopping, popping, and bopping and feeling good on this Tuesday morning, 11 a.m. style, PMP ready to take flight. I got Creative Tony right here to my left. All of y'all on the comments line. Great to see everybody. A few things up my sleeve for today, including we'll take a look at the Giants in Colorado. We are going to do, I'd like to get right back into the NBA bummer brackets for the finals. Also, some bookmarks for everybody's head today. And then, of course, Sly Stone. Losing Sly Stone yesterday kind of shook me up a little bit because I'm actually a pretty big fan. And I got to say, right before the show started, our good friend and art director, Dom Peralta, just sent over a piece of art that he created yesterday. Tony, check your phone. See if there's.
I got it. Yeah, I'm trying to get it up right now. So
Perfect. And I got to tell you, Dom, this is I love this. This is a great piece you made. I can't believe you did that in one night. Very impressive. So hopefully Tony can get that up on the screen. T, how you doing today, brother? On a Roby Tuesday, no less.
It's another Roby Tuesday, buddy. I'm trying to load this up. This will be cool when. Oh, there it is. There it is. Stand by. Stand by. Look at this. Look at this. This is killer. This is killer. Look at that. Come on. Come on.
Man, oh man.
Dude, by the way, like, you know, that whole thing that they do now on social media, I was this years old when I found out this, or I was this many years old when I found out this. Well, dude, I was this many years old today, almost 52 years old, when I found out that the Beastie Boys sample Brave and Strong off of Sly's album. Why am I blanking on the album? It's the same album with Love and Hate.
That's there's a riot going on.
There's a riot going on. That's the song Brave and Strong. The Beastie Boys sampled that. And I was like, wait a second, that's a Beastie Boy. The Beastie Boys sampled that. So I was really psyched to hear that. So, took me 51 years to figure that out. But
well, listen, I got to tell you, by the way, Tony, keep that picture up there. I don't want that going anywhere because I want to look at that while we're rapping. So anyway, how you doing, man? We found out the news yesterday after the show that Sly Stone passed away and kind of took over my afternoon, really. Took a few Sly Stone records out, played them, felt kind of melancholy about it. And this is the Bay Area zone now. This is a legendary Bay Area musical figure. If you're not like kind of, initiated into the Sly and the Family Stone fan club, let me just give you the broad strokes. He grew up in Vallejo, but then he formed Sly and the Family Stone in San Francisco. There's a great documentary, in fact, on Hulu right now about Sly Stone. It was made by Questlove. And it's a really, really good look at this guy's life. And he was flat out, the guy was a genius. I mean, he combined pop, rock, funk, soul, blues, and he like threw it all in a blender and came out with his own kind of style. And he was also, Tony, this is pretty cool too. Before he became a working musician, he was a freaking DJ on K-San, bro.
Yeah, that's the coolest. That's the coolest. Yeah.
Yeah, the legendary K-San. I got to tell you, I feel pretty privileged and honored that I had a brief stint at K-San myself, 107.7 The Bone. I worked there in the early 2000s. And just the fact that he was part of that lineage and he was part of the Bay Area, music scene as a voice before he started playing music, all really, really cool. And by the way, Escobar III, Rags, hey, what's up, Eugene? Good to see you. Ray Goodman, Don Peralta, John Joseph, on and on it goes. Great to see everybody today. I saw Noemi up there a few minutes ago as well. Tony, I don't know. What do you think, man? How you feeling? I got to admit, dude, this is a tough one for me. I'm not, you knew it was coming because Sly's been in questionable health for a long time. He became kind of a recluse. And you know what, dude? I have heard through the grapevine more than once that he lives up here somewhere up in the North Bay, maybe out like in West Marin or something, or in Sonoma County. I'm not sure. I don't think he wanted anybody to know where he was, but he was up in Northern California somewhere. So anyway, Tony, how you feeling about it? How'd you find out and everything?
It's just a bummer. I found out, I think, from you or Dom or yesterday, right after the show, pretty much. And it's just such a bummer. But then again, like, I kind of feel like, in a totally different vein, but like, remember when Scott Weiland passed away? It was like, well, yes, he was kind of living on borrowed time as is. And I felt the same way about Sly because of how hard he lived and how, I don't know, that watching that documentary, I rewatched it this morning and it's just like, not all of it, but a good chunk of it. And it's just, I think the stardom, a lot of these people don't know how to handle the stardom. Bingo. And I don't think he got into music to be a star. And he's like, he he was an incredibly creative mind and soul. And then with that comes stardom a lot of the time. And it's just a sad story because so freaking talented. And what he did, I was explaining to my kids about what he did and how monumental it was about combining like a white and black band. And having that in those times was like unheard of. And the sound that came out, and man, what's his name? Larry Carlton on bass. My
yeah.
Jesus,
You know, he used to run his bass through like a fuzz box a lot. He would put a distortion pedal on his bass, so it had like a really dirty, heavy, like the bass lines in the Sly Stone songs are extremely heavy. That's
the bass line, the bass line, and thank you for letting me be myself again is such a like a quintessential funk bass line that like it was like the template. It kind of set the table for all of these other funk bass players to be like, oh damn, I can pop it like that, and I can, and so that bass line will forever stick in my mind. But I just love the sound that they created as a unit. And he just seemed to be like a huge-hearted dude, but was also very vulnerable,
Of course,
and,
like a lot of the great ones are like that. I kind of think Kurt Cobain was like that too. People, these guys they're very vulnerable. They're easily taken advantage of. And I got to tell you and I want to jump into the show. One more thing on Sly right now. And by the way, Friday, I'll just announce it right now. Everybody, it's all Sly Stone. Just totally. Sly Stone. Nothing but Sly for Friday. But you talked about how Sly introduced the idea of black and white people in the same band. I'll take it another step. This had never been done before. Not only black and white, but men and women.
Yes.
And every single person in that band could take a lead vocal and did. So he would write these great songs and he would be like, hey man, you sing this one or you sing this one. Like he wanted everybody to have like their hands in the sound. So, and you're right. It was a big deal at a time when that was not, you didn't see that a lot, man. Black and white, men and women, all in the same band on the same stage. It was pretty groundbreaking.
Dude, two cool things that I didn't realize until watching the documentary. And then I was reiterated in my head this morning is, how much Prince was just inspired by Sly, like and the Family Stone, and the parallels of what Prince did.
It's almost like a mirror image. Like Prince was getting his Sly on very out in the open. I mean, it was very obvious. And you're right, Prince was hugely inspired by Sly Stone. It was a huge influence on him.
Oh, it's incredible. And then also, I've always loved the tune Rhythm Nation by Janet Jackson.
How about that whole sequence? Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
And then I'm like, once they tell you, well, this is the sample from, I'm like, that's crazy that it's from that song, Thank You.
Yeah.
And that they were in a restaurant and he's like, I want to just have that 6 seconds and loop that 6 seconds and play it for Janet. And Janet loved it. And that song was a massive hit for Janet Jackson. Thank you. Thanks to Sly and the Family Stone, which is just, it goes to show how wide and broad their reach was. So it's sad, dude. But like, again, like you said, Paulie, he'd lived the recluse years when he kind of disappeared because he just wanted to get out of the scene, out of the spotlight, out of the public eye. And it's sad to see him go, but man, what a legacy he lives. Seriously, because I was listening to his catalog this morning. My God, man,
keep doing it. Yeah, stay in there. Stay in the Sly Stone catalog as much as you can. And we're going to talk more about Sly throughout the rest of the show. But also, we're going to talk Giants in Colorado. Stanley Cup Finals last night. Florida dropped the hammer on Edmonton, so that thing is now 2-1. And the NBA Finals resume tomorrow night. So we got a lot of wide open space today. We'll have some fun. One mystery about Sly Stone I've always wondered, because his teeth were so white. I've always wondered if he was a patient of Dr. Matt Young. Oh, no, I'm just kidding, man. Rest in peace, Sly. I'm riffing. But no, the teeth look spectacular on Sly. The teeth on a Paulie Mac have been given to you courtesy of Dr. Matt Young. My dad for over a decade now. Look at Tony. Yeah.
I need those. I need some pearly white action. I need a cleaning from Dr.
Dude. What are you waiting for? Get on down there. Bring the whole family. I'm telling you, he can treat everybody, and he will. Dr. Matt Young been in business for over 25 years in San Francisco, right downtown Union Square. It's 490 Post. right? It's a beautiful part of the city, actually, and it's a great way to spend an afternoon, hang out down there, take a little stroll through the park. But I got to tell you, Dr. Matt Young can take care of all of your dental needs, comprehensive dental care, cleanings, fillings, implants, veneers, on and on it goes. And again, for me, he just puts you at ease, and that's like really important too, because I was super uptight about going to because I'm about that drill. Zzz, zzz. Once I start drilling, I'm like, I don't even like the sound. But
it would be cool if somebody invented like a drill muting device to where like a silent
like
drill,
those Black Hawk helicopters where they can fly around at night. There's like no noise. Yeah, we do.
Right.
We need a silent drill. Hey, any engineers in the audience, get to work and we make a fortune on that.
Totally.
Silent drills brought to you by PMP. Hey, any questions about Dr. Matt Young's services, please do shoot him an email, info@youngdentalsf.com, 415-392-8611. Hey, yo, Low Steve, I see you on the board, dude. We're going to get to you. We're trying to spread them out a little bit more. We're trying something different today, so don't worry. We're going to get to Low Steve and Flex Funding a little bit later in the show. But, Tony, a couple of words from you on Matt Young, and then we'll dive into the program.
I love the Saturday action. I love that he's open on Saturdays because it goes to show you that they're thinking of everybody's busy schedules here in the Bay Area. So they're making themselves available Saturdays, not just like they could easily just do like 8 a.m. to 11 or 8 a.m. to noon. But no, they go 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. And I still say make it a day in the city after you go visit the Young Dental Group. Make it a day in the city. Go to the park. The park's closed to cars. Go to the De Young. Go to the Academy of Sciences. There's a great Paul McCartney exhibit right now at.
Have you seen that, by the way?
I have not. I've seen online stuff, and I've ridden my bike by the De Young and seen some of the displays out in front, but I've not done the exact actual exhibit.
Tony, one quick word on Paul McCartney, Sir Paul McCartney, who has been formally knighted. Do you see he was on stage with Bruce Springsteen a couple nights ago?
Yes.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with the boss and a Beatle getting it on. Yeah.
You could walk into Dr. Young and say, Dr. Young, in honor of McCartney joining Bruce on stage, can I get a McCartney or a Beatles Springsteen double shot while you open up my teeth and open up my mouth and look at my teeth and get to work? We say it over and over again, but it really does mean that when you can find a dentist that you're comfortable with and you don't mind going to, that is huge, dude.
Can't put a price on that, brother. Yeah. Cannot even put a price on that. That's beyond value to me.
Yep. That's basically the end all be all when it comes to Dr. Young. You're not gonna like loathe or look at the calendar and be like, oh damn, I got to go to the dentist this week. It's more like, oh, I got to go to the dentist. Cool. I'll hang with Dr. Young. He'll get it done, and we'll have a good hang. That's something that, like Paulie just said, you can't put a price tag on. So 415-392-8611, 415-392-8611, or email info@youngdentalsf.com.
And if you have a hard time remembering the final four digits, just think John Frank and Alex Smith. Frank, Alex Smith. And by the way, that's Dr. John Frank now.
Yes.
After he got his Super Bowl ring in '88, he's like, I think I'll go do medicine now. He was a great tight end, but when he left, that opened the door for one of my favorite dudes of all time. Brent Jones stepped right in, who was easily, by the way, going back to your tight end thing from yesterday, there's another kick-ass, great, cool guy tight end, Brent Jones. Dude, don't tell anybody I'm saying this because I'm going to say this out loud, but don't tell anybody. I think Brent Jones might be my favorite tight end with the Niners all time. Sorry. Don't get me. You know what I mean? I know Vernon Davis. I know George Kittle. I see it all. Brent Jones won 3 Super Bowls, dude. He played with Montana. He played with Young. He was tough. Yep. He did everything, bro. So anyway, shout out Brent Jones. Maybe my favorite of all time.
Paulie, I'm right there with you, dude. And until George is wearing one of those rings, he's not really in the conversation, in my humble opinion. I love Kittle, but not as much as I love Brent Jones. And also, I got to say, Doug in Japan chimed in on Paulie's pod at gmail.com yesterday. On Blue Sky. Doug's a great follow on Blue Sky. But he said, hey, just to remind you, most tight ends are good dudes, except for that dark character, that person, Aaron Hernandez, that he reminded us, like, hey, don't forget about Aaron Hernandez. He reminded us about that.
Dude, I forgot about Hernandez. Oh my God. Yeah, dude. By the way, that's another guy they made a documentary about. I think it's on Netflix. It's so creepy, dude. He chose gang life over being a Super Bowl champion football player. Like, he chose that. It's really weird. Great call on Hernandez, bro. That's about as dark as it get. It don't get any darker. And you know who I'd like to dismiss just because it's too much at this point? Get Kelsey out of my face too. Get him out of my face.
Oh,
Enough.
yeah.
I know he loves himself. He loves his podcast. Look at me. But I can't take it. I can't take T Swizzle up in the booth with Mahomes' lady. The whole bit, dude. It's nauseating.
I got Brady fatigue, and now I've got Kelsey fatigue, and it's the brother fatigue, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And the way that the networks just flock to Jason Kelsey right after he retired, I'm like, easy. What? I mean, sure, he's like a, I don't know, he's kind of like a jolly teddy bear, or I don't know. He reminds me of like
for real. I'm just going to ask this honestly. You give me an honest answer.
Go.
Would Jason Kelsey be as famous or as noteworthy if his brother wasn't the Kelsey tight end on the Chiefs Super Bowl winning team? I agree.
No, the whole brother thing, it's so cute. And the mom in the press box and the mom at the Super Bowl wearing like the half jersey. Oh, God. Okay. But like enough. He were like Jason Kelsey reminds me of like a gummy bear with a beard. I don't know. And it just, I've just had enough of both of them. Also, I feel like Travis might want to hang it up because he didn't have that good of a year last year. We talked about that before the Super Bowl. He wasn't having that good of a year. And I don't know. I feel like, hey, go ride into the sunset with Taylor Swift. And like, can we never hear from you again?
Couple quick things. One of my favorite lasting impressions from last year's Super Bowl was that shot of Kelsey sitting on the sideline, just looking lost in space because he had no impact on that game. I mean, what did he have? One reception, maybe two. He had zero impact on the game, and they had a close up of his mug. He just looked totally defeated. I really enjoyed that. By the way, Gravy, my main man Graves checking in says, guys, don't forget about Russ Francis. And Russ Francis came on the Murph and Mac show after Bill Walsh passed away. And we did like a great interview with him, or at least I thought it was. I mean, it was a great conversation, and it was a phoner. He called us, but it was really wild. He told us all these stories about how he used to fly planes. And then Bill Walsh was like, dude, you got to stop flying freaking planes, dude. What if something happens? I'm trying to win football games. Get out of the cockpit. You know what I mean? But he was like a free spirit, but he was a tough SOB too. That's another Super Bowl champion right there.
And by the way, I saw in the chat, I forgot who said this, so I'd love to give credit, but somebody said, don't forget about Jeremy Shockey as kind of a douchey tight end for the New York Giants, dude.
Good call, dude. Very, very douchey. That's a perfect word for Shockey. Shockey/douchey in parentheses. All right, boys. So, hey, if you got another great tight end, send them in. In the meantime, Tony, you were saying before the show today, you like the idea that the Giants are in Colorado with Kyle Harrison on the hill today. I want you to go a little bit deeper into that. Tell me why.
Well, they're just, it's like the doormat because they're walking into Colorado. Colorado, what, has 12 wins? Or I don't know if they played last night.
Like 12 and 52, sorry,
I don't check up every day on the Colorado Rockies. If they did play last night,
how dare you?
Yeah, I know, right? If they did play last night and won, then I apologize, and I really should, just give myself one of these, Okay, so I apologize if they did win. I'm not even going to bother looking it up because we don't really need to know. They're a struggling franchise and team, so it's a good time for the Giants to go in and maybe get those, I don't know, score like 8, 7, and 9 runs in this series. This is and then if Kyle Harrison needs to boost his confidence and get his head right, maybe Colorado is the right place. The only thing that scares me is the altitude and balls flying out.
No, that's why I'm never comfortable in Colorado, even if they do put 8 runs on the board early.
Right.
Like there's no sure things in Colorado. Even when they suck this bad, I'm always uptight about going into Colorado.
I'm going to confirm the Colorado Rockies have still not won a 13th game. They did not play, so they're 12 and 53. And Kyle Harrison's last outing, 4 1/3, 9 hits, 5 runs given up. So that's a rough outing, dude. And so I'm hoping that he bounces back, but just keep that ball down, man. I mean, I even preach it to my
going that high fastball though. He likes that pitch.
Yeah, but if you make a mistake, man, that ball's gonna go. That thing's gonna launch into Evergreen, Colorado. It's gonna be bouncing on the foothills of Red Rocks, dude. Like that. I mean,
nice.
You know what I mean? It's just like I can see John Miller. That's on its way to Red Rocks.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
Like he'll say that. That's heading to the Berkeley Hills.
I got to tell you, one time he said something I think was geographically incorrect. I'll never forget this. It was when the Giants were playing the Yankees in the Bronx during the Barry Bonds era. And Bonds, you might remember this. Bonds hit a moonshot to the upper deck in right field at the old Yankee Stadium. And John Miller said, that one's on its way to New Jersey. And I'm like, I don't think so. I think that's going more like towards Westchester, like upstate New York. That Jersey's over here to the west. Anyway, so yeah, he'll just throw shit up. That one's on its way to, Timbuktu. Yeah.
And John Miller does not like to be wrong because he does pride himself on being precise and correct. And first of all, I want to give Robot Centaur some credit. He's predicting a Giants 5-3 win. He's predicting that Harrison gives up 3 runs in the first 2 innings, then finds his groove. Fine. That's fine. If he gives up 3 runs and he goes 5 or 6, I'm fine with that, right? And if the Giants win 5-3, great. For some reason, I feel like it's going to be like a, 7-5 ball game or something like that. But we'll see. Giants need to get the bats going again. We talked about it yesterday about they're only hitting 10 points higher than those Rockies, which is just a shame. It's disgusting.
It's kind of embarrassing, actually. Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's brutal. So. And I apologize. I was not in the best Giants mood yesterday after they just swept the Braves, so I should have probably had a better mindset yesterday, focusing on more of the positives. But I'm just trying to be real, saying
that's what I want. Tony, you got to be you, dude. Give me who you are. I don't want you to put on some kind of artifice, some kind of like false.
Yay! Willie Adames is 193, but hey, they swept the Braves. All right.
Willie Adames is hitting the $183. He's a great guy. You know what I mean? He's such a nice guy. I said that yesterday. Give me an asshole at shortstop who can hit. I don't need a nice guy. I don't.
Yeah. Dude, have you ever played the card game, asshole? By the way, did you ever play that in college?
I have not. No.
Oh boy.
Quarters though. I might take you down in quarters. I can hold my own. Yeah.
Did you ever play speed quarters, like where the glasses were flying? Like you had
maybe. Did you ever do that thing? And then you get to make a rule. Okay, no pointing, so you got to throw an elbow at the guy.
Well, dude, and then there was like Thumb Master. Thumb Master, where like if you got the last person to get their thumb on the table had to drink. But Asshole was a great drinking game where there were a lot of rules, man, and it was you had to tread lightly, and you never wanted to be the asshole in those games.
Well, there were a lot of rules, which drives me to remind you I need some Crater Face real quick when we're talking about rules.
Wow, okay, yeah, we'll give you Crater Face all day.
Rules there ain't no rules.
Oh, dude,
I don't know what it is, Tony. That might be my favorite soundbite right now. It's like because it sounds like he's riding like a riding lawnmower. It doesn't even sound like a car. Give it to me again.
Okay, I'll give it to you again. I'm going to give you my favorite soundbite.
The rules there ain't no rules.
Oh, I shouldn't say. Well, this is my new favorite soundbite.
Let me clear my throat.
Yeah, that's the new one. Yes. And then just entered the soundboard this morning, Paulie.
Wait a minute. Wait, stop. Wait, hold on, bro. Hold on. You can't drive the lane with Close Encounters without any setup. What are you doing? Why did you just play that?
We talked Close Encounters. It was part of our bracket, and so I just was like, you know what? I want that sound on the soundboard. So one more time, Paulie.
You're gonna make me lose it over here. Hold on. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna make an executive decision right here. You have the power to veto me, by the way, if you don't like what I'm saying.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Paulie, cut the crap. We're not doing that. But here's what I think. Since you just drove the lane with Close Encounters, I think we should do bookmarks now because I've been putting stuff in there for like a week and we haven't looked at them in a while. And I actually have a Close Encounters tweet like saved in bookmarks.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And also, guys, we're going to do the NBA Bummer brackets a little bit later on. Also, another reminder, if you're new to the show, we have a Metallica ticket giveaway coming up this Friday. And final word on tight ends. I just want to honor my buddy Rags. He sent in, he said, his favorite tight ends, both Cowboys, Mike Ditka and Billy Joe Dupree. Dude, now you're talking, Regs. Billy Joe Dupree. You know who my guy used to be on the Cowboys? Robert Newhouse.
Oh, dude, Newhouse was great. Yes, I had a signed football.
Bro.
I had Robert Newhouse signed football. I loved it. And I used to, not like a professionally signed. He didn't sign it. It was one of those balls. It was like a stamp of a signature on the football. But I was like, who's this Robert Newhouse? And then my dad showed me who it was. And then I started like stuff like shower towels under my football jersey, under a Niner jersey, and pretend I was a running back, and then I would like bounce off the couches in my house, like they were tacklers, and I would do spin moves, off the couch with shower towels in my jersey as
Fantastic. Although, Rags, I got to say, final word on this. I'm surprised you didn't say Novacek. I thought you would have said Novacek, but I like Billy Joe Dupree better. That's a good call. Okay, Tony, Mr. Bookman, is he available to?
Bookman is available, Paulie. I just want to say that there are Indiana vibes in my world right now, so I feel like before we get to Bookworks, I wanted just to say, are you vibing Oklahoma or are you vibing Indiana? Because I'm vibing Indiana for Game 3 because I just started watching this show called Stick on Apple TV with Owen Wilson, and he's like a washed-up pro golfer, and he's like, I'm only 2 episodes in, but it's actually pretty good. But it takes place in Indiana, and then also, Michael Kang, the lead guitarist for String Cheese Incident, is singing the national anthem tomorrow night at Game 3, and I'm like, that is bizarre. I don't know how
the Indiana game.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter.
That's weird. That kind of weird stuff happens. I'll go right down your lane right now because you remember when Fish sang the national anthem, Tony, at a Nets game in New Jersey. Like, what are we doing? They're from Vermont. They're singing in Jersey. So that kind of thing has happened before. By the way, a couple of supers we might need to take care of real quick.
Oh, let's go. Aaron Kask. Look at Aaron Kask. Oh, Aaron Kask sent us a funny email, by the way. A soundbite I really miss is player to player, pimp to pimp. All right, we can load it back in.
Yeah, we're working on that right now. As a matter of fact, player to player, pimp to pimp. That's from Training Day. A whole bunch of Training Day on my old board. And thank you, Aaron Cass. Good to see you. And I do miss Black Sabbath. I do. Here comes another. I think that's Patty. Tony, if you want to get it up there real quick.
And then I'm just writing down. I got to get the Phil Simms sound as well. Patty from Napa. Yeah. It's just a drop. Oh, bummer. Well, we'll see you tomorrow night, Patty. You rule. Peace
I like how Patty always changes she changes those pictures constantly. Good for you. And thank you, Patty. Always a pleasure. Hey, Ray Goodman, dude. Fish singing the national anthem. Was it a 10-minute jam? Was a 10-minute version of the national anthem?
Hey, a little side note, they were so nervous the first time they ever were asked to sing a national anthem that they actually took barbershop quartet classes to train to sing like a cappella together.
A lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure singing that song.
And so now they do some great a cappella goodies. They do a song called Glide where each of them talks about how many days they've been alive. And then they always update it to the day that they sing it. And then they add all the days up for the total amount of days that they're alive. And that's the song. But they do it as a barbershop quartet.
You know what's crazy, dude? It's hard to believe I actually did this, but I sang the national anthem twice at Giant Games, which is unbelievable because they asked me to sing it like I think it was 2008. And I was like, okay, you know what I mean? The Grateful Dead did it. I'm going to do it. So I actually went out there the first time and you're standing, dude, it sucks so bad. They walk you out to like the pitcher's mound right in front of the mound. And I'm standing there with a handheld mic. I'm just standing there. And then like the lady with the headphones on, it might've been Becky. I think her name was Becky. She was near home plate and she was like, don't start singing until I cue you. So I was just standing there like an angel. Wow. Standing there by the mic, by the mound, holding a mic, waiting for a cue, and it felt like it was an hour and a half.
Did you start like
swinging the mic? Yeah, dude. No, it was wireless. It was a wireless mic.
Oh, okay. And also, did your national anthem? Were you like whoa, 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 brave? Like, did you?
Not at all. Not at all. In fact, I followed the Grateful Dead blueprint, which is just deliver the song. You don't need to just give me the freaking song. So I remember I started singing, and the first thing that happens is there's like a delay from what you're saying and then from what comes to the speaker. So it was coming like the sound was coming like from behind me. And I was like, I'm telling you, that was a tough gig right there. And then they asked me to do it again, like in either 09 or 10. And I did it again. And then I was like, I'm done. I'm out. I got away with it twice. I'm not going to take the risk of like falling to pieces out there. Cause it's very nerve wracking, Tony, with the whole stadium standing there. You're just sitting there with a microphone, bro. That's no joke.
Dude, that reminds me of when Rod Brooks talked about throwing out the first pitch of the game and how nerve-wracking that was for him.
Brooks,
and Rod,
remember Brooksy's pitch? Yeah.
What's that? What?
Do you remember Brooksy's pitch? What happened?
Yeah, I do. He's very nervous. And Rod is such a tall, lanky dude that if he actually like extended his body, it's 60 feet 6 inches from the mound to the plate, but like it's actually for Rod, he'd be throwing it like 50 feet because of how far he could extend, like how Randy Johnson used to extend.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, I was just going to say Randy Johnson.
Hey, go.
No, you go.
Okay.
No, you okay? I'll go. So I was gonna say, and by the way, shout out Pearl Jam. Go, bam, 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 boom, ba dum dum, ba diddle diddle, boom, ba dum dum. I love that riff and Go, dude. Give me a Go anytime.
Heavy.
I say
No,
borderline.
please don't go out on me. Don't go on me now. Never acted up before. Don't go on me now. Oh, never took it for granted. Just thought of it now. Sorry.
I just thought of it now, dude. Awesome, dude. But what a riff! Boom, ba dum, boom, ba diddle diddle, boom. Furious jamming in that.
Oh,
Dude.
now that you're talking better, stand by.
Yeah, it's nice to see happy people.
And
That's
also,
right.
Paulie, just
Shout out to
because.
the PMP. Yeah.
Yes, shout out to the PMP. Dude, Robot Centaur said this is his favorite soundbite, and I happen to have it readily available. So stand by, Paulie.
Right.
Fresh pot!
Okay, there you go.
One more
Did you
time.
get that?
Fresh pot!
I'll drink
There
to
you go.
that. Cheers, Dave
Oh.
Grohl. Fresh pot, indeed. Yeah. Let me
Oh,
take
fresh pot. So I interrupted you, though, Paulie. I commandeered the show, and I cut you off. So go back to your
No
thoughts.
No sweat. Just a couple of minutes on bookmarks, some NBA bummer brackets for the finals, and then we collectively have to go into the city. Myself, Dom, and Creative Tony have a meeting in the city, so we got to run right at the stroke of 12 today. And by the way, I want to say I would like to also take this moment to thank our other great sponsor, Los D from Flex
I was
Funding.
just gonna blast the air horn on you. Good job, Paulie.
I beat you to it, brother. So
Nice.
Los D is a great guy. He's on the show right now anyway. What's going on, Carlos? Hope you're feeling better, by the way, from that whole COVID thing you were dealing with. Carlos at Flex Funding is a money lender who can help you in a variety of ways. Maybe he can deliver a better mortgage to you. He can loan. And I got to tell you, when it comes to your finances and dealing with money, one of the first and probably the most important thing is you have to be able to trust the people that you're working with. And Carlos
Yes.
is not only trustworthy, he's a Bay Area, he's a San Francisco native, man. And private money loans, one of his specialties. He's been doing this for 25 years. And that's what I'm looking for in my finance guy. I don't want a kid right out of college who's never done anything. Give me a guy with some background and some history. And that's Carlos De La Fuente at Flex Funding. Give him a call, 925-250-4894. Talk about your financial situation and how you'd like to improve it. Again, he can do a variety of things. One of his specialties, HELOC loans, home equity lines of credit. You can read some of the reviews. He's actually helped some people out from our very own PMP community. And he is ready to help you out too. And here's another great thing about Carlos. I said you can trust him. There are no appraisal fees. There are no hidden fees of any kind, no escrow, no title fees. He can also, whatever deal you're working on, he can usually close it within 8 days. That's the average. So it's not going to drag out and become this like huge epic ordeal. He does it in a timely fashion because he values your time, which is, greatly appreciated by any customer in that line of work. So what's so fun? Oh, sorry, T. I thought you said something. So again, Carlos has a broker, by the way, as opposed to a lender. So there are a variety of advantages when you're working with Carlos De La Fuente, Los D, as we call him on the streets, and right here in the PMP community. And he's a one-stop shop with several loan programs. So inquire today, see how he can help you out. And as Mike Damone said in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, call Los D. You won't regret it.
You won't regret it. And also, I just want to say, Los just told me that my buddy Pete Hoppin reached out to him, local dude. Paul, you know Pete, reached out to Los last week, and they had a great chat.
Shout out to Reuben Sandwich down in San Carlos.
Yep, at Refuge. If you're ever done on the peninsula, go to Refuge. But yes, Los was they're building a relationship as we speak with one of my friends near and dear here, Pete Hoffman in San Carlos. So it's just goes to show you that if they didn't lock anything down in that first meeting, but they established a relationship, and that's what Los is all about. And I talked to Pete, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, it was a great conversation, man." He's like, "I'll absolutely be following up with Los D," and that's what it's all about. If you go to like a bigger bank, you're not gonna get that personal touch.
No.
You really won't. You really won't. It's like when you take your car to the dealer to get fixed, or you're going to go to a local mechanic that you can actually hang out with, talk to, and really build a relationship with. It's the same thing with Los D. So just if you're interested, if you want that personal connection, if you want that feeling of trust and mutual respect and the win-win where everybody wins scenario, Los D is your dude. 925-250-4894. 925-250-4894, or email them at carlos@myflexnow.com. And it's not just HELOCs. There's all different kinds of loans. On the ticker right now, you're just talking about the Alt-A loan.
Nice.
There's fix and flips. In-state, out-of-state. Los can help you. Just
Reverse
check out.
mortgages. He does it all. He really does.
Yeah,
He does it all. He's had them all over the world. And the other thing is, when you call Los D, you can talk about fix and flips or HELOC loans, and you can also ask him questions about Russ Francis. He'll be happy to talk Niners.
Okay.
He's a monster Niner fan. So
Yes,
talk
and
little
also-
Niners, get a loan, and make your life better today with Carlos at Flex Funding.
And two notes, Paulie. He did. I saw him say the other day on Twitter. He goes, "Oh, I love that. Like people are getting paid now just because they're nice guys." I remember the day when people got paid because they kicked ass on the field, right?
I'm with you on that, Carlos. I did the whole nice guy routine is wearing thin. Again, give me like a bar room brawler who just got bailed out of the drunk tank. If he can hit, that's my guy. I don't care about nice guys anymore. You know.
And just because I've seen multiple requests, stand by Paulie.
Give us the loose. 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 What loan would you like?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the Reagan Grooves, and thank you, Low Steve. Okay, 2 bookmarks we go. Over the hills and far away to the bookmarks house we go, Tony. Fire it up.
Stand by, Paulie. You're moving too fast for me. Too fast for love, man. You're moving too fast for love. You got to stand by.
Great track.
Well, of course it's a great track. It's the young crew, buddy. Stand by.
It's time
Sure, go ahead, laugh if you want to.
for bookmarks,
Maybe that's how you get your kicks. You and your good time buddies.
PMP style.
I got a flash for you, Joy Boy. Party time is over.
Love it. There we go.
Dude, I don't know something about it.
All right, buddy. Bookmarks. We enter the show with bookmarks. Let's go, Paulie. And then we'll do bookmarks, and we'll do a bracket.
That's right.
Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to have to lower the music, but
Yeah, lower it way down. Way down. Way down.
way down now. Way down now. Way cool.
Okay,
dude.
let's start with the first one right here. I want to make a comment about this. This tweet was actually forwarded to me by my friend Chuck, P1 Chuck Acquisto. He was like, hey, because he knows I'm a big Kiss fan. He knows I like Sly. And he was like, dude, did you see Paul Stanley's tweet? And I was like, no. And he sent it over. So check this out. Can you read that? Go ahead, Tony. Read that one.
Sly Stone has died. In 1968, I saw Sly and the Family Stone debut at the Fillmore East in New York City, opening for Jimi Hendrix.
Jesus Christ, what a bill.
They were a freight train of bombastic, joyous soul that would soon climb the charts and change the sound of R&B for so many other artists. Rest in soul. And
I mean,
look at that photo.
How's that for a double bill? Sly and the Family Stone opening for Jimi Hendrix. Lord have mercy, dude. You know, if that happened today, tickets would be like $5,000 a piece. You know what I mean? Face value. Back then it was probably like $3.50. And I look at Sly and the Family Stone, Tony, kind of the way I look at Led Zeppelin, like they're almost like mythical somehow. And I've only met one person in my entire life who ever actually saw Sly Stone. And you know who that is? My friend Barry down at Red Devil Records. He told me a great story once. I was in there buying a Sly Stone record, and he was like, dude, he goes, do you like Sly? I go, yeah, man. So check it out. Barry, up here in San Rafael, there's a record store called Red Devil Records on 4th Street. Highly recommend it. Great shop. And Barry's become a buddy of mine over the years. We've done a Giant games. We hang out. He's a great dude. He's like, and he goes, you know what, Paulie? I really like you because you're the only other guy I know who likes the Grateful Dead and punk rock. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude, me and you. Barry, let's do this. So he said that, well, first off, he grew up in the Los Angeles area, and he goes, he saw Sly Stone like in 71 or something. And Tony, at the Palladium in Los Angeles, and he said he was on the rail. He went right up to the front of the stage, and he goes, I was the only white boy in the room. And he goes, it didn't matter. He goes, the groove was so thick, everybody was going crazy. So that's the only person I've ever talked to who actually saw Sly Stone, and I love that note from Paul Stanley. That's really cool.
Incredible. And Paulie, by the way, we have a little sports flash. Darren Chan just texted me and he says Matt Chapman IL, and I think it's the 10-day IL. I'm looking as to see why he's on the 10-day IL. but Matt Chapman will not be playing in the Rockies series or on this road trip. So
where's the pop going to come from, Creative Tony? Wilmer Flores? It's about the only guy left swinging a bat with some purpose.
Thank goodness for Elliot Ramos. We got Elliot Ramos. Maybe Jung Hoo. Maybe Jung Hoo gets going. I don't know, Paulie. It's going to be an interesting road trip. Not that Chapman was like tearing the cover off the ball, but he was definitely he was climbing the ladder. He definitely wasn't heading in the Adamas direction. So he's
no. He was trending in the right direction, and it's always nice to have that threat out there with Matt Chapman. All right, Tony, keep moving. But what else we got in there?
Yeah. So now, okay. Let's see. I got to get out of this post real quick. And look at this catch. This is Desmond Clark.
Oh my God!
Back-to-back weeks where he wins the Electric Player of the Week, and he's already on the leaderboard for this week.
Oh, is that incredible? Look at that catch.
It's unbelievable. It reminds me of Bo Jackson. He did a similar thing where he kind of climbed the wall with his feet like Spider-Man. That's crazy. It's like superhuman shit. Look at that.
Dude, it's unbelievable how high he is. Look at that. He almost goes over the wall. Like he almost goes all the way over the wall. It's crazy. And it brings it back in, man. I just wanted to look at that shot of him right there. That's incredible.
That should be like a poster, actually, right there. I can't believe he's even playing baseball. He looks like he's doing gymnastics in the Olympics. You know what I mean? Like one of your favorite categories, the pommel horse. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Horse. Yeah. Now you got to swing the legs around. I think Kevin Bacon might have done some of that in Footloose, by the way, swinging his legs like the pommel horse. Yeah,
he did. I think he did it over a bunch of like pallets or crates. But yes, he definitely did. He was mimicking the pommel horse for sure.
Okay, Tony, do us all a favor, please, and lower the music bed because I want you guys to hear this, or maybe even turn the bed off for this. This is just a clip I put in from yesterday, and this is a great example. And by the way, Sly Stone played bass, guitar, piano, drums. He could play trumpet. He could play any instrument in the room. So he's on guitar, but he was usually playing keys. But I watched this yesterday, and the groove. This is so thick, Tony. Just give our audience a taste of this beautiful Sly Stone music.
Oh, that's the rhythm section, dude. The rhythm section is just
furious.
Fire.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. You know what's funny, Paul, is you said they're like almost like a myth. They look like mythical.
Yeah.
My daughter, when we were watching the documentary this morning, she goes, Is he real? Is that a real person? And I was like, oh my God, I love that you asked that. Because she was watching an interview with him. No, she was watching the Woodstock set. And it was the nighttime set. And that, could you imagine being in the crowd of that Woodstock nighttime set, by the way?
What I've heard over the years and, reading stuff and watching documentaries like that, I've heard this over and over again, that Woodstock, basically the three acts that stole Woodstock from everybody else were The Who, Jimi Hendrix, and that Sly Stone set you're talking about. And luckily it's all preserved. Like if you've never seen that Woodstock movie, watch it just to see the Sly Stone set and Jimmy and the Who. I mean, they're pretty freaking amazing across the board. But that Sly Stone set, that actually lifted them to a whole other level. They became like superstars after Woodstock because they were such an amazing live band. What?
Sanchi just on the chat, is Sly wearing a Giants City Connect?
Thank you, Sanchi. I need that kind of riffing today. Sly would have liked that one too. He would have, baby. I got my. You got it, baby. Yeah. Can I get another second of this, or are we going to get?
Yeah. No. Go here. I'm just gonna scroll over and see what happens. Just to see. Here we go. Oh, that's Thank You. That's the song. Thank You.
The bass line's popping and bopping all over the place on that one. Rest in peace, Sly Stone. I freaking love you, man. Freaking love you. Thanks for all the music.
Yes, Paulie. Couldn't have said it better myself. Now this is from,
Okay.
And then
Now read what it says. Read the comment from what they put, because this is, you want to talk particles. I was just talking about this last week. We're talking about the Grateful Dead did a Close Encounters of the Third Kind space up in Oregon back in 78. And all of a sudden, voila, there's a post yesterday about it. So this guy made kind of a joke. He goes, and then Jerry busted out the theme from Close Encounters during space, and the mushrooms really started kicking in. Give me a little piece of that music again, if you could. Yeah, dude. Hell's yeah. Devil's Tower, man, right there.
Oh my God, that's so good, dude. The particles are flying with that. That's really good, Paulie. We got to get to the bracket later on in the show. Oh, and this is the Rolling Stone announcement that he passed, right?
Yep.
They talk about the cover, that he was like, it was so monumental that he made the cover of Rolling Stone, that Sly and the Family Stone made the cover of Rolling Stone way back when. And they were just groundbreaking in so many ways, Paulie. I really got to thank you for, like, I mean, I always listen to Sly, but not nearly as deep. I didn't go nearly as deep until you were like, dude, listen to this, listen to this, listen to this. I'm like, okay.
I only do that, like, Tony, I only do that when I think it's something you really need to hear, because I think that you'll really like. And I'll say it again, dude, and I'm glad you felt positive about it, because you're doing yourself a great service. The more Sly Stone you listen to, I'm telling you, the more like rewarding the whole thing is, because there's so much great music. And he did it quickly. It was like a short window, but what he did during those years is pretty freaking remarkable. And again, you can make an argument that he pretty much invented funk music. You could definitely argue that you wouldn't be out of line saying that.
Wouldn't it be great if the Giants listened to Sly Stone, like on the team bus from the airport to the hotel last night, or maybe in the clubhouse today before the game? I probably wrong there, but wouldn't that be amazing if that? I don't know. I wish, like, if I was a manager of a team and somebody passed like Sly Stone, I would demand that the team listen to that artist like a Sly Stone that day, just to be like, hey guys, feel the vibes, feel the contribution that this artist made to society, and think about the contributions you're making to society today as you go out on the field, that kind of thing.
Tony, thank you, brother. Could you put the Ray Goodman super up there real quick? Ray says, asking the question, what's my favorite Sly album? Mine, Ray, is going to be There's a Riot Going On. I think that's maybe his quintessential work. Also, Stand is a must. And people like that album. Fresh, in the documentary, Questlove says that's my favorite Sly Stone record. It's called Fresh. And that was the one that it's like ultra funky. Fresh is ultra funky. Yep. And after that, he kind of lost his way. Too many drugs, too many people trying to get a piece of him. We've seen, it's the same old story, man. Once you be, like you said, very vulnerable guy, everybody trying to take a piece of him. And he just kind of spiraled out of hand for a while there. But yeah, for me, Ray, it's There's a Riot Going On. And Friday, we'll talk a lot more about Sly. And I got to tell you, I actually do have a Sly Stone story to tell. And you ready for this, Tony? It involves Joe Perry of Aerosmith. I'm dead serious. Wow. Because the one time I got to interview Joe Perry, I was working at KSAN, once again, ironically, 107.7 The Bone. And I'll save it till Friday, but just know that my Sly Stone story involves Joe Perry from Aerosmith. It's really cool. So we'll do that on Friday too.
Ollie, that's a good tease, by the way. You haven't lost your radio chops. That was a nice tease.
Yeah, I got to get people to come back and listen. If you want to hear the Joe Perry Sly story, join us on Friday. I'll unleash it. Yeah.
Oh, dude, and what is this?
Articles, dude. We were talking Pesci and De Niro, and then I found this yesterday. That's from Raging Bull. Can you blow that up? Yeah, dude, look at these two. Look at Pesci. You were talking Pesci yesterday, I think. Was it yesterday?
I was talking, yesterday, talking Pesci. I think he does not get enough love, and I want more love for Pesci.
And look at De Niro's mug, dude. Look at him.
Dude.
Both of them.
He looks like so many different people combined into one right there in that photo. I can't even.
Oh, that's interesting comment.
Yeah, I mean, I could see like a little Groucho Marx. I could see a little like Tim Chalamet. Nowadays, I could see. Gosh, I mean, in that look in his face. Look at that look in his face. And Pesci, by the way,
out of his mind. Yeah, no, the both of them. I know. It's
great. What are they both like? 5'5" each.
Well, Pesci might even be short. Yeah, probably 5'5". De Niro might be 5'8", but they're both pretty short dudes. Yeah. But anyway, I thought you'd appreciate that. It was weird. More particles there. We're talking Joe Pesci. Boom. There's a great Joe Pesci tweet. So enjoy that one. Let's do this. Make this the last one. I found this yesterday. This is wild. This is just a clip of Jimmy Jimmy.
Sorry. Set it up. Go ahead, B.
Yeah. Thanks, man. It's cool. It's Jimmy Page playing the riff from Kashmir. But I do know this, and Ray Goodman, I'm sure you could speak to this as well. Jimmy Page, Tony, used a lot of really weird tunings, like not traditional tunings. Yeah. In fact, they say he invented his own tuning for the Rain song. Like that's why nobody can play it, because nobody knows how he tuned his guitar. He's way out there. So the thing he liked to do is he would leave a couple of the lower strings open, so they would just kind of ring and do like a drone underneath the riff. And when he does this on acoustic, it's a really cool example of that style. So check this out. Jimmy playing Kashmir on an acoustic.
Wow. Here we go.
Dude,
wow, crazy.
Yeah. What a great piece of music that is. Jimmy Page for life, brother. I'm like I told you, bro. I'm still in my big Zeppelin thing. Thank you for bookmarks today, Tony. That was really
good. Yeah. And one more time, Dom. I just want to share Dom Peralta's work of art that he put together in honor of Sly and the Family Stones and Sly's passing. Look at that. That's from our very own art director, Dom Peralta. Man, that is a beautiful piece of work, Dom.
I freaking love that. I freaking love that. And by the way, shout out to Dom's a graphic studio called Stellar Design. I see the sticker up there. Check that out. Dom does all kinds of work. If you ever need some artwork done, call Dom Peralta, brother. Seriously, if you have a job, some kind of like marketing, you need images, whatever, get in touch with Dom Peralta. There's the talent right there. I love that.
Seriously.
No, seriously, you want an example? There it is. Bam.
No
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm laughing at the absurdity of his talent, really, because it's through the roof, man. And he's so humble about it too, man. So Dom, take a bow, dude. Tip of the cap to you, my friend. Seriously, that image is beautiful.
I think I'm going to confirm now, looking at this sketch, that those teeth are brought to you by Dr. Matt Young. There's probably no question about it at this point. The teeth are nice and sparkly. Yeah. Matt Young was behind that. All right, Tony, NBA Bummer brackets, and then we got to go, Stacy. We got to go. Get the purple sock on and start shaking the foot. It's almost time to go.
Let me make sure that we have the correct. Don texted me saying that the bracket was acting up this morning. So,
okay.
Well, because I refreshed it as well, and it was seeing if it was acting up as well. And
while you're doing that, Tony, let me actually make an announcement to all the listeners, because this is pretty appropriate and topical. The meeting that Tony, myself, and Dom are going to have today is actually about the PMP VIP group, because we had a meeting last night. The three of us, we did a couple hours last night working on this. I just got to tell you guys, it is free. It's you could have a degree in physics and not be able to figure out how to get a VIP only audience invite show happening. Like it's extremely complicated. I know it, because we have to use a different platform from the one that we usually use. We do this show in something called StreamYard, but to do the VIP content, we have to create like a whole other channel, and that has to be done on YouTube. And working on the YouTube stuff, bro, that again, I mean, I think physics might be easier than what the people at YouTube are asking us to do. So anyway, we're working on it, you guys. We really are. And I would like to do this. As a matter of fact, I would love to do a Sly Stone VIP show for everybody where I could just talk about them for like an hour. So as soon as we get our arms around this thing, we'll give you the bonus content. We are working on it. And that's exactly what we're going to do today, right after the show. Okay, Tony, floor is yours.
So we got the bracket back up. It's a little difficult to read, but we could do just the final two. Oh man, I can't. I've even got my screen full screen, and I still can't fully read it because I don't have. By the way, I'm fighting it, Paulie. I'm fighting it. I need readers. I need reader glasses.
Do yourself a favor. Why are you holding out? There's no reason to hold out. What do you think? You're not going to look as good? Like, what's the problem?
I hate things on my face. I try to wear sunglasses. I don't like it. I just
get one of those Kareem Abdul-Jabbar goggles made for you. You can just strap them on your head. Remember when Kareem used to wear like the goggles on the court instead of glasses? Yes. James Worthy had those too, man. Those are NBA Hall of Famers. Get yourself a set of goggles, Tony. Get some Goggins goggles. Stop fucking around. Sorry about the I'm getting loose. But grab your side. Just popped out. Whoops. Grab yourself a prescription for some glasses and stop screwing around.
Oh, yeah. Well, I really am fighting it. And my buddy Mark Bucket and Mark has these. It's back. It's back.
Okay,
I
good.
take it back. Hang on.
Battle. Yeah.
He has those glasses that they're magnetic and they break in the middle and they can dangle around your
those
neck.
are great. Those are great. Yeah.
Have you seen those? Because I wouldn't mind using those because something where I just don't have to have them on my face all the freaking time. Anyways, I know it's lame. I need to
Great
go get
glasses story for you, real quick. It'll take 10 seconds.
Go.
Rags, I think I told this on the air once before. Rags and I, hot off the heels of like an all-night party we were at. We went to this diner in New Jersey, early 90s, and Rags had a pair of glasses, and one of the lenses fell out. So he had like one lens on this frame, and we went into this diner, bro, and we were, 3 sheets to the freaking wind, and they actually threw us out. They threw us out of the diner. And I think they just looked at Rags with the one lens, and they're like, all right, get this guy out of here. Get him out. And it was like, this guy's trouble. So anyway, shout out to the one lens of a Rags. Hey, Eugene, it wasn't Paul's Diner. It was right across the street from that one. Remember that other one called Julie's Diner? And by the way, Tony, for your educational purpose, that is one of the great things New Jersey has to offer. Their diners are.
I love a good diner.
They're out of control, and they're everywhere. You go a mile in Jersey, bam, there's another diner. So we used to go
to a diner, Paulie, you get hash browns. I'm so tired of scalloped potatoes or potato foam fries, whatever. Give me a traditional plate of hash browns, and I want them browned on both sides, and I want them crispy and then soft in the middle. Give me hash browns. Diners give me. There's a shout out Broiler Express right here in San Carlos. They'll give me hash browns. Or the Sky Diner, dude. If you're ever in San Carlos, go to the San Carlos airport and go to the Sky Diner. It's on the airport strip, and their omelet bar, basically their omelet menu, is fantastic. And yes, Ray, hash browns all damn day. I don't want big potato chunks. Why did that become a trend? Why did potato chunks become a big trend? Give me freaking hash browns. Sorry, I did not see this coming, Paulie, but you hit a nerve. Sorry.
No, I'm glad I did. And shout out. You said shout out Sky Diner. Let me shout out a few of my favorite Sky songs. Tony, Sky Pilot by the Animals. Sky Pilot, how high can you fly? Don't sleep on the Animals. A lot of great stuff there. Also, Blue Sky by the Allman Brothers, and then finally Pink Floyd. Goodbye, Blue Sky. All three of them are great tracks.
Yeah. How about The Sky is Crying, Paulie? Can't forget about Stevie
we go all day. If you got Sky, send them in. Hey, and one last thing. I saw Bonnie Scarlet Fire was asking me what's my go-to order in Jersey. Generally speaking, Bonnie, no matter what I order, the side dish is my staple, and that's French fries with gravy. Oh, dude. They had this at Julie's Diner where Rags and I got thrown out of. They had these amazing fries with gravy. Everything in there was incredible. All right, Tony,
pause. You can't talk fries with gravy and just expect me to let it go.
Okay,
right?
go.
Have you ever had animal style fries at In-N-Out? Have you ever done the animal style fries at In-N-Out?
What? I don't think so. What's on it again? Tell me. Maybe
they load them up with the American cheese, and then they put the grilled onions and the special sauce on them on the fries. I recommend. I mean, by the way, you might want to have some Alka-Seltzer right next to you after you, plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. By the way, great slogan, by the way.
And plop, plop. And by the way, dude, look at the Sky songs coming in. Ray Goodman, Eye in the Sky. Dylan Verano, Mr. Blue Sky. What's up, Dylan? I don't think I've seen you before. Welcome aboard, brother. Matt Stenson, Who'll Burn the Sky by the Scorpions. Pine Needle, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Big Sky Country, Chris Whitley. Noemi Goes Barbecue or Spicy Ketchup with your fries. All right, fair enough. Tony, come on, let's do some brackets, brother. Let's go.
Cody Marchetti and Scott Saunders also said Wheel in the Sky. So we got to go through Wheel in the Sky keeps on turning.
Don't know where I'll be tomorrow, Tony. That's right.
And you know what? If isn't that the God's honest truth? Really, I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. So, anyways, let's get to the bracket. Paulie, I'm trying to I don't know if I can zoom in on this any more than we're zoomed. So I'll have to read to you. We have to figure out the famous people from both Oklahoma and Indiana. Are you ready?
Go.
Woody Guthrie versus Brad Pitt. This is the Oklahoma bracket. Woody Guthrie versus Brad Pitt. I know where I'm going, but I want to know where you're going, and then I'll tell you mine. Go.
Can you do me a favor? Can you enlarge this a little bit, T? Is
No,
that possible?
that's what I was just saying. That's what I was just saying. I
Okay,
can't. So it's
sorry,
Woody
sorry.
Guthrie versus Brad Pitt. So
Okay,
go.
I'm going Woody Guthrie because without Woody Guthrie, there's no Bob Dylan. Without Bob Dylan, there's no Bruce Springsteen, and you can trace that directly to Woody Guthrie. So, hey, Woody Guthrie, thank you for your catalog, and thanks for delivering to me Bob Dylan and Bruce Springsteen. Tony, you go.
Damn it. I hear everything you're saying about Guthrie, but I'm a Brad Pitt head. I like Pitt. I've always liked Brad Pitt because, of course, he's a handsome dude, but he is a very, very good actor, and he's played so many different roles, man. And shout out to his role in California, the random underrated role in the movie California.
Serial killer, Tony. Serial killer. Yeah.
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 Exactly.
By the way, you're getting outranked all over the place, though. Bonnie comes in with Woody Guthrie, Corinne with Woody Guthrie.
Okay.
We've got Dub City, has to be Woody Guthrie. It's Woody Guthrie, Tony. Sorry, Brad Pitt, step aside. I like him too. But again, I got to go Dylan, Springsteen, Guthrie. Thank you very much.
Fair enough. I'd say no more. That's fine. Now, Olivia Munn versus Bill Hader. And can I just say right now, I'm going, ooh, gosh. I was going to say Bill Hader because Olivia Munn had a momentary lapse of reason and dated Aaron Rodgers. So
but she got the hell out of there. She figured out this guy's a tool, and she's like, you know what? I'm out.
Yeah, but she fell for his crap. She fell for it. At one point, she fell for it. And that, you know what that tells me? That tells me weakness. That tells me you fell for that guy, Rodgers. I'm not voting for you. I'm voting for Hader. Hader makes me laugh. Munn doesn't make me laugh. And you know what is the best medicine in life, Paulie? Laughter. So I'm going Hader.
I'll buy what you're selling right there. I'll go with Hader too, but I do have to say one thing. Can I make an off-color joke on a Tuesday morning? Is that okay?
You've been wanting to do this lately. Let's go.
I'm going to start to giving you the blue content. Here it comes. I've always wondered, and Olivia Munn might have an answer to this. Don't attack me. I'm just riffing. I'm trying to make comedy out here. But I got to say, when Aaron Rodgers is making love, right? When he climaxes, does he go, That's my Aaron Rodgers lovemaking joke. Okay, Tony, thank you. Let's move on. Yeah.
No, that's a wonderful joke, by the way, Paulie. I think that's a funny joke. And anytime we can make a joke at Aaron Rodgers' expense, and that's why I won't vote for Olivia Munn.
Exactly.
I had a momentary lapse of reason yesterday with my Steelers and Mike Tomlin, Aaron Rodgers conundrum. Thank you for talking me off the ledge on that one.
Yeah.
But we have, we can play. Forget it. I won't do it.
It looks like Hader, though, across the board. Hader's getting all the votes from the viewers as well.
Hader's getting the votes. That's good. That's good. Everybody's on the right path there. So that's fine. So let's we won't even waste any more time on that. How about Jim Thorpe versus Mickey Mantle? Ooh,
damn, that's a tough one, bro.
Yeah.
Geez, well, boy, I don't even know what to say about this one. I think I'm going to go Jim Thorpe just for the historical value that he brings to the table. First of all, he was an American Indian. He was a highly accomplished athlete, obviously. And what I remember too, Regs will appreciate this, and Eugene too. My dad used to talk about Jim Thorpe. So when I hear Jim Thorpe's name, I think about my dad, and I like to think about my dad. Rest in peace. So I'm going to say Jim Thorpe based on the legacy of Bob McCaffrey. That's what I'm saying.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, how do I can't really.
You just join in. You just join. You support your friend. That's all. Yeah.
I gotta say, I would go Mickey Mantle because of what he did for America's pastime, but I can't go against Papa McCaffrey. So we're going Papa McCaffrey.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Advances. The final one. This is a phenomenal battle. Yeah. Chuck Norris versus Garth Brooks, dude. That is a phenomenal battle. I know where I'm going, but I'm going to tell you where I'm going first, Paulie, and then you can decide. I'm not going to go No Fences, Thunder Road, Unanswered Prayers, Garth Brooks. I'm going to go with I think he's 85 now, Chuck Norris. And my friend Mark Wiseman here in San Carlos, he listens to the show and he checks in. Dude, he checks in from his classroom, although he's on summer break now, but he watches from his classroom and lets his kids check out the show. But he watches it kind of low volume. But anyways, he has a Chuck Norris daily calendar that he shares with me and a couple other buddies on a text thread. It's incredible, like the Chuck Norris isms. And then also Chuck Norris is on Cameo, and he still does great Cameo message. And we paid Chuck Norris to do a birthday message for our friend Mark Wiseman. So I got to go Chuck Norris for the legendary and the freaking the workout machine that he created, or not created, but he was the spokesman for, with Christy Brinkley. Total Gym, the Total Gym.
Oh yeah. With the tank top and shit. Yeah, good
Yes.
call. Well,
Yes.
I would say this. I'm going to go Chuck Norris too, for all the obvious reasons. I mean, I watched his movies growing up. We all did. We wanted to be Chuck Norris, throwing like roundhouse kicks and all that stuff. But one thing about Garth Brooks, I got to roll out there gently for your consideration. My vote is for Chuck Norris, but honorable mention to Garth Brooks. Why? Because he has the good sense and the beautiful taste to cover a Kiss song. He actually covers a Kiss song called Hard Luck Woman. And by the way, I played that at the Water Bar this weekend. I played Hard Luck Woman. So me and Garth Brooks cover the same Kiss songs. I just wanted to shout that out. But no, my vote goes to Chuck Norris, Tony. Thank you.
So just an example of the Chuck Norris calendar. It, like, on one day, it'll just be a picture of Chuck Norris, like almost naked. And it'll say Chuck Norris's favorite cut of meat is the roundhouse.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, right. Chuck Norris won a 10-minute race after giving his competitor a 10-minute head start, that kind of stuff.
Beautiful. Yeah.
There you go. So that's the Chuck Norris calendar. Now, okay, we can move on to the Indiana famous person, and we can do this quick style like we did yesterday. Did a speed brick. We're doing speed PMP.
Well, last category today, just for today. We'll end after this one. Yeah.
Last category today, and it's the famous people from Indiana as we proceed with our NBA Finals bummer bracket here on PMP. David Lee Roth versus Axl Rose.
Wow. Well, okay. Boy, where do you even begin right here? There's actually a pretty famous Axl Rose, David Lee Roth, like kind of confrontation that happened. I've read about this multiple times over the years. So, and I'll give you my vote in a second, but apparently when Guns N' Roses started like climbing the ladder and becoming like this mega super band, one night they were hanging out at the Rainbow in Los Angeles. It was Axl Rose with a few of his buddies, and they looked over and they saw David Lee Roth sitting in some booth at the Rainbow. So they go over to Dave and they're like, "Dude, Dave, we're big Van Halen fans and everything." And listen to what Dave said to him. Dave actually said this. This has been documented by multiple sources. David Lee looked at and he had Sebastian Bach with him too from Skid Row.
Wow.
So Sebastian Bach and Axl, they're like the two young guys coming up. And David Lee Roth had already climbed the mountain. So they sat, he goes, "You guys have a seat in my booth." So they sit down in Dave's booth, and this is what Dave said to them, both of them. He goes, "Just remember, the two of you guys are pretenders to the throne." He said that. Yep. He actually said that. You're pretenders to the throne, based on the audacity of Diamond David Lee effing Roth, bro. I'm a Dave head. Listen, I'm a Rothologist. I'm like a black belt Rothologist. And I'm voting David Lee Roth. I like Axl Rose. I like Guns N' Roses, but I love the first 6 Van Halen records. I wouldn't have made it through high school without the Van Halen catalog. Yeah. And the greatest one-liners of all time. Whoever said money can't buy happiness obviously doesn't know where to go shopping. Here's another one. Yeah, there's another one. A lot of people say money can't buy happiness, but you could buy a yacht big enough to pull up right next to happiness. So, dude. Yeah, and I could go all day. There's a million of them. David Lee Roth, a brilliant dude, canoeing in the rivers of New Guinea. He was a lunatic climbing mountains. David Lee Roth is my vote, Tony. Thank you.
This is a no-brainer, but it also sounds I'm David Lee Roth as well. Everybody in the chat is saying David Lee Roth as well. And also, it sounds like Diamond Dave should have his own daily calendar, like Chuck Norris. He should call Chuck Norris's team and say, "Make me a daily calendar," because of all the stuff you're saying. And I gotta give Cody Marchetti some love, because he said the eyes of a ranger are upon you, and that is from the song, the theme song for Texas Walker Ranger.
Yeah, nice.
That's really good, Cody. Good job. So Diamond Dave moves on. That's great. So we're moving on, Diamond Dave. I think
one thing about David Lee Roth, the guy had the balls to get on stage in front of 50,000 people with no shirt on and assless chaps. Okay, assless chaps, cheeks flying. David Lee Roth, "Hey everybody, check out my elegant posterior," and he's just walking around on stage, cheeks flying. Anyway, Diamond Dave is my guy. Thank you. Yeah.
I don't know if Diamond Dave ever left his fans waiting for hours on end at venues the way Axl Rose would leave people waiting back in their heyday.
One more thing, since you brought that up, thing. Here's how effing awesome David Lee Roth is. When I saw Van Halen, let me think about this. It was in 2012. It was at Oakland, and I was sitting up in Mike Chilton's booth up there. And dude, I looked at my watch when they came on stage. They came on stage a minute early.
Dude.
Yep, they said like Van Halen will be on stage at 9 o'clock. Dude, they came on at 8:59. I'm like, this guy effing rules. Nobody would do that. And you're right. Axl would leave people waiting for like 2-3 hours.
Yeah, dude. Come on.
You know, and Dave was like, Dave hits the stage early. Okay, anyway, who's next?
Moving on, we have got this could be very quick. Michael Jackson versus Janet Jackson. I think it's just Michael all day. There's no Janet without Michael. I don't know. That's just my opinion. It's although we just had the Sly and the Family Stone reference with Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation.
And I got Eddie Van Halen hanging out, laying down solos on a Mike Jackson record. Listen, I'm going Mike. I'm going big Mike Jackson on this one. Yeah.
I gotta say, at some point, I think, does Mike's personal life catch up to him in this bracket? Because it is a bummer bracket, and although never proven, never like Barry Bonds, never proven guilty, there's a lot of question marks about the what was the name of the ranch? What was the name of the come on, Neverland?
Yes, that's right. Neverland Ranch. Yeah. We don't want to talk about that though. Let's not
even I think it's the boy never had a childhood. His dad just robbed him of his childhood. That's the only thing I'm going to say about that. Okay, so Michael Jackson moves on. James Dean versus another no-brainer for me, but James Dean versus David Letterman. Paulie, both from Indiana. Go.
Okay, James Dean, Live Fast, Die Young, Rebel Without a Cause, trivia on Rebel Without a Cause. And I'm no James Dean expert, but I do know a couple things. Is that very, 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 and you guys probably know this if you have seen the movie, but in that movie, A Rebel Without a Cause, you know who has like a starring role aside, right alongside of James Dean is a very young Dennis Hopper. Look for that next time you see James Dean flick, A Rebel Without a Cause. You get Dennis Hopper is like a little kid.
Not to be confused with Rebel Without a Pause from
Public Enemy. Yeah, totally. I got to say, David Letterman, a million times out of a million. I grew up with Dave. He was actually a huge influence on me. I love the way he interacted with people. He's so smart, so quick, so funny. I miss him, actually. I don't think late night's ever been the same. Like, you got Fallon and Seth Meyers, nothing against those guys, but it ain't like when Dave was doing his thing. Dave was a one of a kind, and I grew up with him, so it's Dave for me.
Dude, a lot of love for James Dean on the chat, but I got to also say with you, for me and the way he affected my late nights growing up, David Letterman, and dude, the freaking top 10 list, man, was just brilliant. And the stuff he would do out on the street.
Shout out Manny the hippie. Remember that dude he had, Manny the hippie? Yeah.
Yes, dude. Yes, the stuff. It's just a lot of the stuff that I find very funny came from David Letterman, and I don't know, people have copied him over the years. So I think it originated with Letterman. So Beat LA says Letterman, he was the best. We're going to go with that. NorCal Refrigeration and HVAC. Letterman's band when we were kids was insane. So yes, he's right. So more votes for Letterman. Moving on, Letterman moves on. Final matchup, Paulie.
Yes.
John Mellencamp versus Florence Henderson. That's tough, man.
I like John Mellencamp too. I do. I like him. I like a lot of his stuff. I've never seen him live. I love the song "Check It Out." Check it out. Great track. Scarecrow. All that stuff, dude. He had a lot of great songs. When the walls come down. Yeah, Pink House is bum bam bam bam. And I like when the walls come tumbling down. When the walls, but. I think I might go Florence Henderson on this one.
Yes.
Because she was like the model example of a mom when we were growing up. It was like, there she is. That's like, that's the whole freaking, that's it. That's what a mom has to be. Florence Henderson, by the way, kind of a cute mom too, on top of everything else. Give me Florence Henderson, Tony. Thank you.
Florence Henderson moves on. And by the way, do we hat tip or do we like say, what the hell were you thinking, John Mellencamp? He was like 5 packs a day or some crazy stat. He used to smoke literally like almost a carton a day.
Yeah, 5 packs a day. I think he had a heart attack, open heart surgery, leaves the hospital, goes and buys a pack of butts. Shout out John Mellencamp. Just he's like, I don't care. I'm going to keep smoking. That guy, that's a gangster smoker. Open heart surgery. Somebody go get me a pack of smokes when I get out of here. And he did. He went right back to it. That's gangster shit right there.
Well, I got to say, just because he didn't put his health first when Florence Henderson absolutely put everyone's health first in the Brady Bunch, I got to go Florence Henderson. And like you said, she was the model mom. And dare I say, probably a lot of boyhood crushes on Florence Henderson. At least I was one of them when she was on Brady Bunch. And so I got to have Florence move on. And we'll see how she does in the next round.
Okay, kids, I want to thank everybody for stopping by today. We do have to run. We got to get to the city for this meeting. It's all for you guys, too. It's about you being VIPs and how we can deliver a proper VIP show. And I wish it was easier, but it's not. It's a pain in the ass. But we're going to try to set this thing up, and we'll get to it as soon as possible. Tony had a great idea for a VIP show, too. Also, we can do like a whole Metallica review with the VIPs and the ticket winners, all that kind of stuff. I want to do a Sly Stone VIP show, and we'll do like Giants post game. We're going to do all kinds of stuff, but it's really, really challenging to set this up. So we're off to do that. Thank you once again to Dr. Matt Young. Email him at info@youngdentallsf.com or call him 415-392-8611. He'll take care of all of your dental needs. He's a friend of mine, good dude. He'll take great care of you. And then also our other great friend and partner, Los D at Flex Funding. Thank you, Los D. Give him a call, 925-250-4894. You can trust him. He offers a variety of financial services, including mortgages and loans, and he can do just about anything with the mortgage, especially if it's a HELOC loan. That's one of his specialties, home equity line of credit. So thank you guys. We love you. We're so happy to have you as partners and sponsors. And Tony, let's get to it. I'll see you in the city. Have Dom and David leave. Professor Roth, dismiss the class if you could.
Class dismissed.
Yeah. The reason.
That's awesome. Oh, that's great.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks so much, everybody. Noemi, John Joseph, Rags, Miguel, Dom, Stinking Badges, NorCal Refrigeration, Candlestick Kit. Love all of y'all. And I saw that, John Joseph. I'm an atomic punk, too. Totally. Been an atomic punk for years. All right, guys. Adios. Tony, I'll see you in the city. Dom, I'll see you in the city. Everybody go have a nice lunch. Rags, get back to work. We will see you tomorrow night for our weekly night flight. It'll be a much more open show. We're just under the crunch, but we got to run. But we'll see you tomorrow night, 8 o'clock right here on PMP. Tony, thanks for everything. Great show today. Take your robe off and get into the city. I'll see you soon, brother. Cheers.
Yeah, I'll see you very soon, and then we'll see everybody tomorrow night after Paulie's Pacers win game 3, maybe. All right, peace out.
See you guys. Bye.